Welcome back to Eliances Heroes, where heroes in business align. To be part of our super community and find out more about Eliances, visit www.Eliances.com. Now, back to our super host, David Cogan, founder of Eliances.
That's right. This is David Cogan, and I cannot stop bouncing off the wall here because so much is going on. These are today's heroes making a difference. They're creating jobs. They're doing something. I mean, we just started off the show having Potsy from Happy Days on, doing so much. We just interviewed the 7-time lottery grand prize winner. We'll be ending the interview with another hero, 12-time Olympic medalist for swimming. I mean, I can't even get one medal. She's got 12 medals. Unbelievable. But wait till you hear our next story and our next hero and her story. She is one that's creating jobs. In fact, she's creating tons of them. Heidi Jennenga, who is the co-founder and president of WebPT. That's WebPT. And they're the leading electronic medical record software. They do practice management solution for physical, occupational, and speech therapists, and doing so much. But what's here is really cool, too. They were also ranked twice on the Inc. 500. That's the elite list of nation's fastest growing companies. And so, Heidi, why do you think your software has just become so popular?
Well, thank you for having me, David. Our software has become so popular because it was built with the assistance of my husband, who's a software engineer, by a physical therapist. And so when you have an actual subject matter expert involved in developing the product, it becomes much more intuitive and actually usable by the people that it's being built for.
So your other half you mentioned, and he's the co-founder too, is your husband. I mean, what advice would you give to us about those that are considering working with a family member now too? I mean, it's close quarters when you work all day and then you're together all day. I mean, it's a 24 hours. What advice would you give?
Yeah, that initially it starts out with a lot of excitement and gusto, and it still is today. We've learned how to communicate with each other so much better over the years. Initially when we were starting out, him being the software side of the house, trying to fit a physical therapist's brain, kind of the logic and whatnot, into a software platform was not easy. But we developed a way to kind of communicate. My advice to others who are attempting to do this, it's all about expectations and kind of making sure that your dreams are aligning together of what you see for the future. One of the things that worked really well for Brad and I was that we were kind of yin and yang. He definitely is the quintessential entrepreneur in terms of really having that, long-term vision and being able to, truly visualize what we were attempting to build. And for me, it was more about process and more, what's going on right now. So I truly credit him for, encouraging me to pursue WebPT. He's pulled me out of my comfort zone so many times. But at the same time, we've balanced each other out, he being that more risky, idea-driven one and me kind of on the process side. So, I've learned so much from him on the technology side, and thanks to that partnership, I'm getting recognized now as a software executive, which was not anything that was on my radar 10 years ago. So that's in large part to his belief in me, and then our belief in the dream that we've now brought together as WebPT.
I don't know how you both don't talk 24 hours a day about business, given working so close together, building a large company, creating so many jobs. I mean, Inc. 500 twice on the list and stuff. Unbelievable. Now, I know that everyone is always asking you same questions. What's the secret sauce to having grown the business so fast, winning so many awards, hitting so many top lists? Well, let me tell you, that's not what I'm going to ask. The more important question really is what are the values that you will be instilling in your daughter to teach her to be successful both in life and business like you and your husband are?
Yeah, that's a really good question. It's kind of twofold. I just read a quote the other day. I think it was in like Belong magazine or something like that. And it went something like this. Life will only change when you become more committed to your dreams than you are committed to your comfort zone. And so, in other words, kind of taking those risks, welcoming something that's different, and learning to really feel comfortable in the uncomfortable place is something that we're definitely teaching our daughter. From a woman's perspective, especially being in the software world, it's really been interesting to, make that transition from the physical therapy industry, which is more dominated by women, but having to have that sort of real strong, confident, aura about you, but at the same time still maintaining the collaborative leadership style that's necessary in any sort of industry has really, I think, what's helped me to be successful, and I definitely want to make sure I pass that on to her.
That's great. And we're talking with Heidi Jennenga, and you're listening to Eliances. That's right. Are you a hero? Go to Eliances.com. That's Eliances.com. This is the place where entrepreneurs align. It is the destination for entrepreneurs. And Heidi's the co-founder of WebPT. You can go online, WebPT.com, doing so much for the community. In fact, I know culture in the workplace is very important to you and your company. You have hundreds of employees. You're continuing to grow and hire staff. But how exactly, now this is where I'm going to ask you the secret sauce, see, is how exactly do you know who the best candidate is to hire? In other words, peeling that onion to find out who they are. Maybe what are the three critical things that you look for?
Yeah, so we like to say that we hire for culture over skill set. And what that really means is that, we can have two exact resumes with very similar backgrounds, education, and experience. But at the end of the day, it comes down to, just like you said, sort of peeling back that onion to find out, who actually is going to get given the opportunity to be a part of the WebPT family. And we look for a few things. We look for something we call a servant's heart. That is somebody who truly embraces the we and not just the me, and understanding that, you have a role here, but your role is intertwined with the entire, company and all other departments. So that's first and foremost. Second, we also look for somebody who has shown grit through, some of their experiences in the past. We love to really try to ask a lot of experiential questions through our interviews, rather than just kind of, hey, tell me about, the traditional questions of tell me about your history and all of that. But we really dive into a lot of experiential questions to get to that deeper kind of personality that you may not be showing right during a normal interview process.
We've got a little less than a minute left. Heidi, who is your hero? It could be fictional, non-fictional, but who's your hero?
Since I was a kid, Wonder Woman has always been a fictional hero for me. She was smart, strong, no nonsense, and beautiful. And plus, she flew in an invisible plane, for Christ's sake. I mean, what more could you want, I guess?
Incredible. Well, Heidi...
I guess more personally, my father...
Excellent. Well, I got to tell you, Heidi...
Yeah, more personally, my father has been a hero to me.
That's great. I'll tell you, anybody who can manage and run such a large company, being responsible for so many employees, be an inspiration to others, including in the PT industry, helping them, being a business leader, that's our hero today. And Heidi, you certainly are. This is David Cogan with Eliances, and when we return, 12-time Olympic medalist for swimming.